Are you looking for a new best friend? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Cassidy Carson, and I am an independent author in search of some reader best friends. I'm only partially kidding anyway, because I realized today that we sell a majority of our books to friends and family members. Part of the reason, of course, is that many of our friends locally are also authors. So we will buy each other's books and read them and talk about them and review them when we can and try to promote each other on social media. And that's awesome. The challenge is that all of us are in the same boat. We're all low level independent authors with not a huge following. None of us have a great following. So when we do an author event like we had today at the Reno Public Market, some people did show up. They did stop to chat. We do get people stopping at our table for a little bit longer than they might at some other tables because we give away those little bags with the keychains and business card and Hershey Kiss in it. And people like to pick through the bag to see which keychain they like the best. So they are chatting with us as they're looking. They're usually in a good mood because people love getting free things. Unfortunately, that doesn't always convert to sales. So our hope is that by taking the keychain and the kiss, they will actually take a moment to look at our business card, maybe check out our website, and we might make a sale that way. So that is part of our marketing ploy. And some of our fellow local authors were very interested in the keychains that are the little bags that we're giving out. And I'm wondering if maybe a few of them may also start doing that as well. But we had about the average amount of sales today. The first book I sold was actually before the event officially started to a friend who is a fellow author, which was what made me think of auditioning to be your new best friend. But the second sale that we made was actually toward the end of our 3-hour period. And someone just picked up one of JT's Sheriff in Nevada books and just bought it, which is unusual because usually we have to talk them up quite a bit before they make the purchase. She just said, "Oh, I'll take this one." So that was pretty cool. I wish we would get more of that. So we're still, struggling. We're paying our dues, hopefully. I don't know if it will ever lead to anything. And the other interesting thing that happened today was that apparently a lot of up and coming people who are trying to write a book or who have just released a book and who are not yet part of the Northern Nevada literary scene, a lot of them showed up and they were asking for advice. So I spent a lot of time talking to them about what we do, how we do it, giving them the kind of advice that I give in these videos. We gave them our business card and our bookmark and our book brochure so that they can see what we're doing. And we told them about our podcast. So we'll see if any of them actually check out what we're doing, maybe follow along on our podcasts. They're not likely to buy books because they're busy trying to write their own. So we had a few people wandering around who were, I think, there just to hang out, maybe hit up some of the local stores. So some of them were specifically there for the book event, but it didn't seem to be very many. And the speculation was that part of the reason for that was because of the FIFA World Cup, because the game between England and France is going on as we were there. And a lot of people may have been at home watching that. There were a lot of people actually in the Reno Public Market watching it. It got rather loud in there as everybody was cheering for England as, let's see, they had 4 goals before we left and France had none. So it's always a challenge figuring out if it's going to be the right kind of crowd to actually want to buy our books or anyone's books, really. I think just watching other people's tables, I think everybody probably did about as well as we did. Maybe a handful of books were sold by some of the bigger name authors. The main person at this event was a retired local newscaster, not a nudecaster, a newscaster, a retired local newscaster who's actually moved out of the area but he stays involved in our local writing community. He has written books, and he is a bit of a draw because his name is recognized in the area. If you are in Northern Nevada, you may know Bill Brown, who was on, I believe, Channel 8 for many years. So he has since moved to Oregon. He actually drove down to Reno for this event. He's the mediator between the Reno Public Market and the writers in the area to get these events set up. We will be doing another one around the holidays, so probably sometime maybe in late November or early December. And he said that he will work on setting that up for us, though he may not be able to make it down because at that time of the year, it can be tricky to get through the mountains from Oregon to Nevada. So he had quite a few people stopping by just because of the name recognition. I don't know how many of them may have purchased books, but it's great of him to stay involved in our local community and to help us put on these events. So a lot of us local indie authors are out here paying our dues. We were all thankful that for an event like the one today, we did not have to pay a fee. Reno Public Market just allows us to take up table space, which is amazing, and we really appreciate it because selling 2 books would not cover booth fee. And I've done a video where I talked about the cost of doing book events, so I'll link that down below so that you can see a little more detail about what goes into attending book events. But today, basically, I think any profit we made, we spent on lunch, which is okay. We expect that. So not really a lot of income, not a ton of interest, mainly because we think maybe the wrong crowd was in the building at the time. They weren't really there for the book event. They were there for other things. So it was about normal, about what we were expecting. And JT and I have started to say that basically our normal expectation for book events is going to be 0 sales because, sometimes that happens. I will say over the past few, I think we've sold at least 1 or 2 books at each one, and not always to people we know. So that's good. We are getting out there. And I will be doing an event tomorrow at the retirement community up in Northwest Reno. When JT did his, everybody was very engaged. He sold 1 book, but basically it was because a woman was just trying to give him money for showing up. So he said, well, if you're going to pay me, you're taking a book. And she wouldn't take her change or anything. She was very sweet. So we have no high hopes for that tomorrow. It's mainly visibility. We are giving our time to a local community organization or facility, basically, where older people live and they probably don't get out very much. Some of them are unable to get around very well on their own. So it is good to be able to just go chat with them for a little while, and we read a little bit of our book. And at least, if nothing else, we feel good about maybe helping make their day a little less lonely because we do chat with them too. So we're not really expecting a lot of sales tomorrow, and we'll just see how that goes. Our next event after that will be Friday, July 24th, which is this coming Friday. We will be at Bub's Bookstore here in Carson City, our new friends. We've been spending a lot of time over there. And this will be for the release of JT's next book, Defying Salvation. So I did make up a sign for today's event with a QR code. If anybody had been interested, they could have scanned the QR code and actually pre-ordered the ebook of Defying Salvation, but nobody really seemed interested in looking at our books very deeply today. So, yeah, at least I gave it a try, but the book is still available for pre-sale, as are all of his other books are already out there, like the Salvation Universe books, but it is very hard to convert to sales, especially if you have people who aren't really interested in reading or people who are more interested in writing and they're hoping to make a connection. I talked to one young man who was looking to go the traditional route, and I said, that's great, but you do realize it will take a long time because you need to first find an agent. There are some smaller publishing houses that do not require an agent. But in most cases, you do have to get an agent, especially if you want to try to publish through one of the big five. And that would be HarperCollins, Penguin, all the big well-known publishing houses. So I warned him, which he probably already knew, of course, that it was going to take time. But he asked for writing advice. And I said, basically, the best thing you can do is just sit down and do it. Because most of us, as he could see from all the people sitting there, most of us don't make a lot of sales, but we enjoy writing. And that's one of the reasons we keep doing it, even though we can be a little bit disappointed after we're trying to share our stories and people just kind of walk by and don't really look at us. So it's just us paying our dues. We'll see if paying our dues will ever get us anywhere. Who knows? But in the meantime, I'm still here if you are looking for an independent author friend. I do appreciate the friends I've already made. I really enjoy interacting with all of them. And JT has also made some friends, both online and in person. And it's always fun going to these events now, because when we first started doing this, I think we really started in the beginning of 2025. When we were going to these events, we felt very alone because we didn't know anybody yet. We are at the point where we know so many people. We might not know everybody at every event, but we know enough people that we actually end up kind of introducing ourselves to each other. And a lot of people come to talk to us about our podcast because some of them want to be interviewed, which we're happy to do. So we are getting out there that way as well. But I really like being able to catch up with my fellow local authors. A couple of them at least have become really good friends now. There is another couple. He does not write, but she does. And they are actually becoming friends of ours, like couple friends, which is fun because JT and I don't really have a lot of couple friends. I don't know that we have any couple friends, honestly. We both worked in different state agencies, so we each had our little circle. And I think JT knew my coworkers much better than I knew his because he worked with a lot more people than I did. So getting to know new people now that we have left our state service, even though I still hang out with my former coworkers. I just had lunch with one the other day, and we text each other, and I visit as often as I can. So I'm keeping in touch with them as well. But making new friends is always fun. So if you are looking for a new friend, check me out. And I'm not just saying that to sell books, honestly, because it is great making a sale, but I do love chatting with people. The people who came up and asked questions about publishing, I was happy to chat with them for a while. And the people who were just chatting about books or other things, maybe related to the books. JT has a series called Emma Parks that's about a child protective services worker. And I was having a very nice conversation with a lady today who she was talking about child protection, child protective services type of situations. And we were commiserating about how difficult the world is with, parents and grandparents worrying about the safety of their kids. So we can have some very wonderful conversations. I mean, it's kind of a deep and dark subject, but we were making a good connection and it was fun. And I don't know her name. I don't know if I'll ever see her again, but I enjoyed spending that moment of time with her. So, as an author, I do hope to sell a few books here and there, especially the more we do this, the more we would hope to sell books, but I'm still enjoying making all of those interactions as well, because as a retiree who spends most of my time at home writing, it can be a little lonely. JT and I talk to each other, of course, but seeing new faces can be fun. And as an introvert, it's nice to be able to do these events because it's usually a short period of time. Today was 3 hours. So then I can come home and recharge my batteries because introverts get drained pretty easily. And boy, I'm always exhausted when we're done. And it's not just moving the books around and all of that. It's just draining to be out in a public space. So if you are a fellow introvert and you would like some low stress interactions with somebody that you can chat with on occasion, I'm happy to offer that service as well. Oh, but now I really am thinking that I need to go and put my feet up for a little bit. I say this pretty often in my videos, especially when I record them later in the day, because my batteries are drained. But these are the realities of the life of a writer. Basically, it's not all glitz and glamour and people lining up around the block to see you. It's, one event after another. And like I said, I will link to my video about the cost of book events below so that you can see my discussion about that. But in the meantime, I hope you're having a wonderful day and weekend so far. As I record this, it is Saturday, January. JT did that recently too. It's July. It is Saturday, July 18th, 2026. And it's been a good day. So, and before I sign off, let me also throw in that we are still in the America's Favorite Couple competition. I've noticed that a lot of other people aren't really trying very hard anymore. We're still sitting in fifth place. So for the next 3 rounds, if we just stay in fifth place, we will advance, because at the end of this coming week, it will be the top 15. The week after that, it will be the top 10. And then the week after that will be the top 5. After that point, it may be a bit more difficult to advance. And, if we make it to the top 5, that would be really cool. If we come in fifth in the top 5, after that, it will be the top person or the top couple from each group. And then there will be like a wild card round for all the second place people in the group. And then I guess the rest of those people will go head to head. And it's supposed to end in September. And like I said, a lot of people don't seem to really be trying anymore. Some people are discouraged by the donations for votes aspect of the competition and are thinking that the whole thing is a little bit scammy. But I'm not really pushing people to pay for votes. If you want to vote for us, that's awesome. Free vote daily. You do have to use Facebook to verify that you are a real person and not a bot. And I understand that a lot of people don't want to do that either. So that's my other little plug. I'll put the link down in the description below. We're going to keep doing that until we get knocked out. And part of the reason we are doing that is for visibility, because as I mentioned about today's event, we don't have a lot yet. So we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, like I said, I'm going to go and chill, and I hope you're having a wonderful day and weekend, and I will chat with you again tomorrow. I'm Cassidy Carson, and this is The Life of a Writer. Take care.